Twin Flame souls out there. Welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is in episode 77. In today's episode, I am going to talk about what 2024 will bring for Twin Flames, who is coming to a union, who has a chance of coming to a union, and also who is coming to this journey, who is going to have a new awakening this 2024. As we know, twin flames are often energetically connected. There is an energy, and there is an energy that aligns with the universe, there's an energy that aligns with you, and there is a reason when and why you meet your twin flame in a 3D world. I'm also going to discuss about the difference between 3D and 5D union, because these are very two different things, and I will discuss what it means. I also will say that I will bring in the number patterns. If you are seeing 888 or 222 or 1111, 2022, 333 or 555, there is a big shift and changes are coming, and I'm going to talk you each one of them individually to help you to understand about the union. The other reason I'm talking about the union and coming to a union is that I had chances to speak to so many of you, and I'm very, very thankful and grateful that you have given me an opportunity to hear your story, to give you comfort, to help you to connect with your twin flame and get some clarity and answers. So I'm really, really thankful for that, because this has also shown me that there is some kind of a pattern has started to happen. And that's why I'm bringing this episode today. Also, the third reason is that in about end of this month, we will have a twin flame who is coming to share her story, because she just got engaged to her twin flame. So we have many different aspects why I want to talk about it. And then also, one other thing is, many new twin flames will meet their twin flame this year, and they will start their awakening process. So come along with me and let me know how is your twin flame journey going. But before we're going to go into that, I also want to say that those of you who would like to have a consultation call with me, those of you who would like to connect with me and share the story and get off from the shoulders, it's available on twinflameawakeningjourney.com. And I'm more than happy to talk to you, more than happy to share your energy and get to know if you are on this journey and what's going to come next. So let's dive into that. Many unions will happen this year. And I'm going to say for those who and why. Number one is that we are year of 2024. And why I'm making this video almost in the middle of the year is because of the patterns I have seen since January. Many twin flames have united, and they are together in 3D. So now just remember that 3D and 5D unions are two different things, which I will explain at the end. And I've started to notice that those of you who have come to this journey in certain times are starting to come to the union. But I also say that when we come to the union, we can have the unions that our twin pops back into our life. So which means, let's say you haven't heard from your twin 2-3 years, 2, 4, 6, 7 years, and all of a sudden this year your twin will write to you and say, hey, how are you doing? One of the reasons is that 2024 is an energy of 8, energy of infinity. And this is the energy of infinite possibilities, and infinity in that sense comes together. So those of you who have been on this journey, let's say, I'm not going to go all the way back to the 20 years ago, but I'm just going to say, because we had a major awakenings in 2018, 2020, and 2022. So those of you who are now in 2024 and your awakening was at 22, or 20 or 18, you have a very big chances that you are coming to a union this year. And now in the sense of 3D union, that you will hear from your twin flame, or your twin flame will return back to your life, or your twin flame will start chasing you instead of you chasing them. And here is another thing just to pay attention, because 888 represents the energy of infinity. And it also, when a twin flame, so if you have recently starting to see this year 888 everywhere, and somehow it pops up for you here and there, that it's a sign and a signal for you that your relationship and your spiritual bond is ready. So it's a powerful alignment of the energies and towards love. So when you see that 888 is popping out for you everywhere and you don't know why, I'm gonna tell you, don't be surprised if you're gonna have your union this year. Now, I'm gonna talk about also the union a little bit, in that sense that we have 3D and 5D union. 5D union is where we are energetically already connected. And the moment we meet our twin flame, this is where our 5D union is actually getting real. Even though you've been connected with your twin pretty much all your life. That's why you always had that knowing that you are on this journey, and something is like you kind of were missing always something, but you didn't know what. And when you met your twin, everything started to make sense. And that's why you've been always connected in 5D. When you meet your twin flame and the separation happens, you always stay connected. You're always connected. That's why so-called 3D union is like an illusion, actually. There is no separation. It's an illusion. But we need to stay so-called 3D-wise separated in order to understand this. Because if we don't, we also don't understand that there is energetic world, that you can receive telepathic messages, that you can open your gifts and your senses that you had no idea were there before. So that's the big reason of the separation, because we are in a shift of the world. We are shifting into a new stage, into a new earth, and we need to learn also these new energies, new senses, such as telepathy, which is very, very real. Those of you who are having a telepathy with their twin flame, it is very real. I always say, write those things down, even though they look like an absolute madness and nothing makes sense there. Please write these things down. And so that's why we are always connected in 5D. 5D union is always there. And that's also one of the reasons when you come to a union. In my next episode, I'm going to tell you these exact things that you're going to experience before union will start to happen. But here today, I'm talking exactly for those who are going to have a chance. So I'm going to say, those of you who came to this journey 2018, 2020, 2022, and are now, you have a very, very big chance that your twin flame is going to return to your life, especially if you are really on this journey. Because all of these are representing the energy of alignment and union. Because that's what brings me to the next number, and that's the number 222. 222 represents alignment and union. So when you are now seeing everywhere constantly 222 and you don't understand why you are seeing it, that's again the universe is telling you your energies are in alignment, you're coming to a union, and just trust it, believe in it, and trust it. So if you're seeing, and main numbers right now, if you're seeing them 888 or 222, get prepared that your twin flame will return to your life. And you will have a union in that sense, union. Now just pay attention, the 3D union. You can have a union where your twin flame returns to your life to test you, to see how much you are in peace and how much you have surrendered and trusted. So it might happen that your twin flame will text you anytime soon this year. And I'm going to say that many of us have a very strong union energy from June to August. So I've noticed that from February, I've received so many messages where my people who I've worked with or I had calls with, which is, you're just beautiful souls, and I'm just happy to see that. Have received writing to me, I haven't heard from my twin 2-3 years. And after the call, I got the message from my twin, or my twin popped up there and here. But so I'm also going to say that you're going to have a test to see how much you have surrendered and you trust this journey. So what can happen is that your twin returns to your life, but then they can go again if you are going to get back to the same cycle you were before. So there's also the test period. That's why I say, why is it so important to become your higher self? Why is it so important to connect with your soul? Because when you practice this, when you become one of who you really are, and your twin returns, you will not fall back to the same situation. And why I talk about this, because I know that when my twin returned to my life, I had 3 times where I fell back to the same system again, same obsessive thinking. I could not believe that. I was so afraid that if I say this or that, or if I do this and that, my twin will disappear, until I had to go all the way within to face my fears, to let go of my limiting beliefs, to let go of my fears, to let go of the pain. And it was such a hard process. So that's why I can totally understand what you're going through. Another day, I received a message, and I think it was from my previous podcast episode, where people were saying, oh, you are so in peace and happy place, and everything is so fine in your life. That doesn't really mean that you are on a twin flame journey like this. And it made me to pause for a moment, and I was like, there was nothing happy when I first came to this journey. There was nothing beautiful. I was almost dead. I am still today, if I have a flashback, I'm surprised that I'm alive. Because what I experienced and what I went through was a hell on earth, was something that I was barely surviving. I was trying to understand what just happened to me, why it happened to me, and why it doesn't stop. It felt really like I stepped into another universe where things were different, where I didn't understand the reality, so-called reality, the 3D world. And at the same time, I couldn't understand the 5D world either. I didn't have any trust in this 5D. I thought it's all a mumbo jumbo. Nothing makes sense there. It's like people are just saying these kind of things, I don't know, to comfort them or something like this. Until I really had to surrender, because I wanted to leave. I in that sense, I really wanted to leave, yes. But this pain made it unbearable. The things that were happening around me, this intensive 5D attack, the intensive energy, like the 5D attack in that sense that I could sense the energies. I could feel the things. I can see the numbers. And it doesn't stop. There is no way I could step out of it, even though I wanted to. But the only way for me to get to that place where I am today, and this is why I am so profound of talking a why to become your higher self, because you become aware. You become aware of what is happening around you. Why is it happening? And you're starting to build a trust that this is not another mumbo jumbo lunatic thing this is real and this is what is happening. And the more you build trust and the more you surrender, the more everything will start to make sense. Because if we resist with our ego, the more pain we are going to feel, the more, like in the so-called harder it will become. So that's why I am here. The reason of this podcast is because I know that pain. I know how hard it is to get out of it. Although I'm here as an example that you can, and you can feel peace again. If I have a time today, I will read the letter what I was receiving from one of the person who came to my retreat, because she explained exactly what means when we are coming to alignment, what means when we are connected, and so on. So I just want to repeat again. So those of you who are seeing a lot of 222s and those of you who are seeing a lot of 888s, it's going to be your year. Definitely you are going to be in a union with your twin flame. Will be the final union. That depends a lot on your twin flame's work, your other part, what they have done. But you will definitely hear from them. As based on what I have seen right now with the pattern, and that's why I'm happy that I get to do this in a half a year, as every month I receive more and more similar patterns, and that made me to make this podcast. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it. But I started to see something that I was like, looks like there is some connection. And as we are the energy of infinity, be ready. Now I also want to tell you, so there are two things that are coming up. I'm going to tell you a little bit about other 5 number patterns, or actually 4, but I will cover, that are coming and give you a next upgrade, a next thing that is going to happen. So for example, if you are now seeing again 1111 or 111 is coming, and it's coming all the time, it is a wake-up call for you. And it says the spiritual awakening is happening on your twin flame journey. So, for example, before you came to the twin flame journey and you were seeing 1111 everywhere and you were like, oh, let me make a wish or let me do this and that. So now you might be seeing 1111 again. It just shows to you that you are on the right path, and also that your twin flame most probably is going through an awakening, which means the reunion is about to happen again. So when you had seen the 1111 prior, this means that, let's say before coming to this journey or during this journey, you were seeing 1111. That was your awakening. That was your sign that you are on the right spiritual path. But now if you have started to see this again recently, 1111 everywhere, it means that your twin flame is awakening and you are going towards the union. Here is just few things you have to pay attention: your thoughts and emotions. So pay attention. How are you saying to yourself? Are you saying, oh, the union will never happen, my twin flame doesn't love me, this will not happen and this will not happen? Or you are saying, I can feel how I'm coming to a one. I am one. I am connected. I can feel it. I love those people who are coming to my workshops. You can also join the workshops if you wish. Next time we will do an opening a heart and listening to the heart chakra opening, heart connecting through your heart. We now also have a time for Australian group, and also the same for US group. There are 2 times. And the next time we will meet is on 12th of May. It happens via Zoom, and all the twin flames come together and we have a workshop. Previous workshops are also out on Patreon, which you can do all by yourself. So feel free to. It's $5.99 a month, and you have an access to the 2 live workshops per month, and also replays. And now there's going to be also the divine messages, divine channeled messages. So there's going to be more over there. And when we see this 1111, it's exactly of paying attention. What is your energy? Do you feel that is low? Do you feel it's high? What are you feeling? And be very, very mindful what you are experiencing. And I want to say for those now who are listening to this and don't even understand, and they just came to this journey and wondering when this reunion will happen to me, because you just came to this journey. For a while you were seeing 1111, and now all of a sudden you realize, I might be on this twin flame journey because so many things are making sense to me. Then I want to say, welcome to this journey. It is a roller coaster and it's a madness. But many twin flames are awakening this year as well. A lot. I have a feeling, and the message that was coming through me another day, that we even have a double amount that we had previous year and the year before. So a lot more is awakening, and one of the reasons of the awakening is because of we are shifting the Earth's energy already. So if you are new here and you're wondering what you're going through, I'm going to tell you, twin flame journey is nothing easy, and it can feel like eternity, and it can feel like your twin flame will never return to your life. But I'm here to tell you, and especially we have an episode coming up where one of our twin flame got engaged, that it is a hell. It will test you, it will break you, but eventually it will be one of the most beautiful things that happened to you. So now let's move to the 222 that I was talking before. So 222 is a energy of alignment and union. And often when we see a 222, that is that you are achieving a harmony. And you are coming to the place where it's like it's so harmonized that it was exactly supposed to be. That's why I say when we have done the calls, and I see for some of you that your frequency number is 222, and I've seen that with quite a lot of you, in that sense that when I say, okay, you're going to come to an alignment, you're going to come to a union, you're most probably going to hear from your twin, and I get an email back, says, I received a message from my twin right after our call or the day after. 222 is a very significant number of alignment, union, that you're coming to in harmony. And this is a very pivotal moment of alignment. So when you are, and because the 222 is an energy of divine timing. Like for example, I came to a journey of 2022, which means it was a time of alignment. A lot of twin flames awakened on 2022 because it was a divine timing alignment, a lot of them. And I'm also going to say a lot of them woke up during this time, in that sense that they realized, oh my, it must be a twin flame journey, what I've been going through years, but I didn't understand. As now I wonder quite a lot of times that yes, we have internet, we type in, we ask a question, we do this and that. But back in the days, and that's why we should be thankful for each person, whether the information is right or wrong, whatever it is, that have started to talk about twin flames and twin flame awakening and what happens during this process. Even myself, when I first started to get this awakening, or this, my soul started to tell me, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast, you need to start a podcast. My ego was fighting against it because I was like, no, nobody needs to know. That's okay. Let it be there. But now I realized if I would have kept this all inside of me, and so many of you wouldn't have answers that you are looking for. And so I feel really, really humbled and thankful for my soul, that my soul made me to do that, even though my ego was fighting a lot against it. So I just want to say that we need to be thankful for every person who has put some kind of information there that gave you comfort during this process, because it is extremely hard. And I'm thinking and wondering of those people who went through the spiritual awakening, who went through all of that prior internet or prior even having that answers, and now all of a sudden everything starts to make sense to them because they feel I'm not the only one who has experienced this. These feelings, the energy has never died, it's still there. But I just couldn't understand what happened to me, and I was driving on my ego and trying to suppress it. But once we are on this journey, there is no way we can hide from it, or run from it, or go away from it. It is going to be there forever. Does that always mean that you're going to live happily in a marriage with your twin flame? No. But what it means is that you can have a very functional connection relationship, because it's the love energy, it's you, it's your energy. And we need to accept the love energy. But of course, many twin flames will be together this year, like I said, in a 3D world. And I'm not saying this to give you hopes. It's based on exactly the information I have collected during the time, or over the time I've had calls with all of you. I am so thankful for each one of you that you've taken this courage to come and talk to me, complete stranger in that sense. Well, I hope I'm not. I hope I'm somehow in a soul way connected with you, because with some of you I'm really, really connected, and I feel really, really happy in that sense that I just know that we are connected. And so twin flame journey is intense, and when we see this 222, we know that it's an alignment, it's a divine timing. And that's actually with everything in life. If you're starting to notice 222 a lot around you, this means it's the right thing, it's exactly sent for you, and this is what you need to accept now. And so just remember, if you see 222, that you are in balance. Everything is going to happen. It's exactly the call to trust that, okay, I am on this journey. This is okay. And most likely your twin flame will return. And you have that sign that you are going to be together in a divine timing. And we cannot rush the divine timing. And this is what I want to say as well. If you are receiving, let's say right now you're listening to my podcast and you're starting to receive a lot of 888 or 222, and you're like, okay, it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen the week. No, it has to be the opposite how you receive it. You see it and you're like, all right, I understand. I trust it. I know already. That's okay. I allow it to come. I allow it to be. I allow it to become part of me. And watch how the magic will start to happen. Do not start for waiting it, because the more you wait, the slower the time goes. The more you are having fun, the more you trust, the more you are in this moment and you are aware, so-called faster it will come. So now we move towards the number 333. If you see a lot of 333s that are coming on your way. So the 333 is normally also the energy of love, so that there is a lot of love. And also that during this time, the love starts to get stronger. That means your twin flame, the other part who was going through awakening, is about to start to awaken. And there is a transformation happens. So which means, again, that the frequency is uplifting. 333 is an energy of love. But divine love, like twin flames are sharing, is way profound. And in order for your twin flame and you to reunite, you need to be on the same frequency. It will happen. Everything will happen in our life based on the energy we are having and what is happening inside of us. So when we connect, we will receive the same energy. So that's why when you are seeing the 333, be ready that your twin is uplifting the energy, the love energy. And you are most likely going to hear from them. And that your energies, might start to feel that they need to reach out to you and tell you that they love you. So the next thing is 444, and why I talk about the 444 is that in our previous episodes, in a previous workshop, many of you were asking, I'm seeing a lot of 444. Is anybody else is seeing the synchronicities of 444? And a lot of people were writing, yes, I do. There is quite a lot of them. And 444 is the energy of protection of your twin flame journey, which means you are protected. You don't need to worry when your twin flame will return, how your twin flame will return, what's going to happen on your journey. If you have to take some risks, if you have to make some decisions, if you have to change something, you are protected. So it shows you that everything is under control. Everything is okay. Stability and endurance, telling you that your divine presence is watching over you and your twin flame. But when we are living in a sense of protection, which means we are holding ourselves inside of us, that I need to protect my heart, I need to protect myself, I don't want to get hurt again, I don't want to open my heart. That's also a protection, that you are trying to protect yourself, that you do not believe and trust that you have your divine guides around you who are already protecting and guiding and giving you. So you need to let go of the control inside of you and allow the control, in that sense, the protection to happen of your divine group who is around you, and open your heart. When we are on this twin flame journey, it's going to make us to open our heart. It's one of the worst things, I'm going to tell you. When we're going to open that heart and crack it open, it feels like we're going to die. At least it felt for me like this. I was holding my heart closed for so long. And once it was open, the sense of peace, the sense of relief, connection with my twin, the channeling, all of that started to make so much more sense and became more profound than ever before. And so the 444 is also showing to you that everything is okay. You are safe. And you need to trust that both of you are being guided in order to meet yourself again. So what can happen is that, for example, you see a 444 on some restaurant, or you are paying a bill and it's 444, that it tells you again, all right, you are on the right path. You and your twin are very, very close to each other. So you're having like a similar experience. And so the reason you were on this restaurant on that day is not a coincidence, or the person you met on that day and told you, oh, the time is 4:44. It's not a coincidence. All of these things are there to remind you that your twin is experiencing something similar. And now our final number, which I want to talk about it, because these are the things that are leading up to an union. I would say the most important numbers are 222 and 888. If you are seeing them right now, take a one deep breath and know that you will hear from your twin very, very soon. I can tell you that, because there is no reason for you to see these numbers if it's not going to happen. But also make sure that you are really on this journey. That's different. Make sure that you've discovered that you are on this journey. Whether you're going to discover this with me, whether you're going to discover this all by yourself, or whether you have that knowing and things are happening like I've explained on my previous episodes, please feel free to listen to them and do these exercises and go through them, because make sure you are, because we can sometimes mess up a little bit karmic and twin flame when we are not exactly aware of it, or soulmate and twin flame as well. We can sometimes a little bit mess them up, although I'm going to say that they're very, very different. I will make an episode about soulmate and twin flame and karmic and twin flame in my upcoming episodes. I am looking for someone to come and explain about karmic relationship and how do we meet our karmics. So if you have an experience on this, you can write your story or you can come on a podcast and explain it. Why? Because I have never been in a karmic relationship, and I don't want to put out an information that I haven't really lived through, even though based on what people have told me and everything I could share. But I like to have that this podcast is your podcast, which means it exactly explains what we are going through when this is happening to us. The reason I talk about twin flames is because I went through that. I went through every single piece of this. Wasn't fun. Wasn't fun at all. So those of you who are new, just had that click. I might be on a twin flame journey. Then I'm going to tell you, welcome. Welcome to this journey. Take it one step at a time. It can happen that you meet your twin flame earlier, and this is I'm going to talk about when and how you meet your twin flame in my upcoming episodes. Often it can happen also that we can meet our twin flame way before, but we don't understand it. Like we don't have that click going in because we are not ready for it. I always say that the universe and the God gives us, or the energy, when we are ready for things. It's like the same thing that when I read The Power of Now before coming to this journey, even though the book happened to be magically in my hands, if we look back on our journeys, we always see how everything is connected, how every place, every person, everything that comes to you is connected to help you to get where you are today. That's why do not sit there. Do not hold yourself back of making changes, connecting, trying new things that feel so uncomfortable. But these are the little puzzle pieces that help you to get where you're supposed to get. This I was talking about on my previous episode about manifest your twin flame. So now I'm going to dive into the final number is the 555. If you are seeing 555, then now it's time to brace yourself. It's really time to brace yourself. 555 is the energy of significant changes that are about to transform your twin flame journey. There is a big transformational shift. It shows that both of you are ready to embrace transitions and new energy that are waiting on your path. It's like the phoenix is rising from the ashes. It's like a rebirth and renewal. I know that people have a call with me and I see that they have 555 energy, and I'm going to tell them always, be ready. Shift is happening, especially when I'm doing the energy activation alongside for them. It's going to be a little roller coaster at this time. It feels like, whew. And I think sometimes some people might think, why did I have a call with her? Because now I'm feeling like I'm dying, or I'm crying as much. I'm crying too much that I have never cried as much. Well, it's the time for you to shed your skin. It's for you to become who you're supposed to be. And it's one of the hardest, but it means that you are going to shift. So if you see 555, then you are going to shift and you're going to go closer of who you're supposed to become. And that's also another thing that needs to happen before we are coming to a twin flame, to the union. Talking about every single thing that you will experience on my next episode, that things will happen before your 3D union can happen. So these were the things to pay attention. And I want to say that many twin flames, even though we think that we were activated and came to this journey when we met our twin flame and all of a sudden something started to happen, I would say that we always normally actually had that knowing. Somehow we have some kind of a connection. Whether it's, let's say, you have seen twins in your dreams as a kid, whether there is always some kind of that you like similar things or you wanted twin kids. For example, for me, it was always I wanted twins. Even though I never got them, there was something I was dreaming of. Or and later on, when I came to know that, how difficult it would be to raise the twins and be pregnant with twins and all of that, and I realized, oh wow, God was protecting me. But you have just this inner knowing. And when you finally meet your twin flame, when your twin flame returns to your life as a 3D, even though in 5D somehow you've been receiving the downloads, information constantly that has led you up to that moment, you and your twin met in 3D. I would highly recommend, or not recommend, or yeah, recommend, and also I would like you to request every one of you who is listening, write down a little bit in the comments the journey that actually led you up for your twin, that the downloads you started to get before, or the things that didn't make sense, like for me was to learn French, to move to a different country. I had no idea that's gonna happen there. The people I met, the things I was doing, like there were so many things that now when I look at back, I'm like, well, everything makes so much sense. Because right before I met my twin, I did a soul realignment session, which I was so skeptical about it, which I didn't want to believe. But the moment I did my soul realignment, everything started to crumble. 2 months later, met my twin flame, went through the dark night of the soul that almost killed me, started to understand that something like inside of me was telling me, you need to do this, you need to go there. There are your answers. And I only had to follow the world or the universe just with the trust. I moved to the country. I had no idea about it. I met new people. I went to the retreats. I started to do new things that I had never done before in my life. And then everything started to make sense. But I'm also going to say that twin flame journey is not like dark night of the soul is not one night. Dark night of the soul is longer than one night. Everyone does it personally, but I'm going to go at that for me in a sense of the intense period of the dark night of the soul was 1.5 months, one of the most intense. Then from there, another recovery, about 3.5, 4 months. And then post-recovery, where I started to understand that there is a new world and new things, was another 3-4 months. So I would go that in about 9 months, I was going through hell. So those of you who are listening to my podcast now and they see a lot of, how do I say to you, that happiness and things will start to come and things will happen, it didn't come to me easily at all. At all. And that's why I am so passionate, and that's why I still want to do this. It's because I know how lonely it is, because I know how it will break you apart. And I also know that once you get the release, once you get the relief, it feels like you can breathe again. It feels like you are not alone. So that's why, obviously, my workshops and things I have set it up is for that reason. Of course, sometimes my ego comes in and I'm like, I don't know why. But then when I go back to that moment, I understand why. So to today's episode, I'm going to exactly end it up with the fact that if you see 222, if you see 888, and you came to this journey 2018, 2020, 22, you have a very high chances, because the timing is right now, is just aligning with the energies. Of course, it depends how much work you have done, which can be relieved when your twin flame pops back to you and sends you a message. Obviously, that would be too much to ask as well, but if any of you are listening, and those of you have sent me their emails of how their twin popped back to them, you can also leave the comment just to encourage others to see that it is possible. Do not give up on this, and also have more trust in it. And how to have more trust, how to surrender, how to connect, all of this is also available on my Patreon. I have a couple of episodes about it, and yeah. So that was today's episode. I'm really looking to forward, and we have a person coming here to talk about how did she get engaged with her twin this year, and it's a very interesting story of hers. So I hope you will enjoy that. So please hit the like and subscribe button to make sure you will hear that story. What else do I have to say? Again, those of you who would like to share the story with me, twinflameawakeningjourney.com or twinflameawakeningjourney@gmail.com. You can book your session with me, twinflameawakeningjourney.com. All the links are in bio. If you have any issues that says your payment doesn't go through, just drop me an email and we will figure that out manually. And the retreat, I was not supposed to say that, but we have a very, very private retreat, which is already booked up. And I don't do any advertisement for that. That was just for the private reason. But I will share what we are doing there. So you will have a glimpse of it, and you will see it, and you will understand why I'm talking so much about becoming your higher self. We'll share about this at the end of summer. But the other one that is coming up, it is now in November. I will put out the information on my website. I know we have 8 people or 9 now on a waiting list. So please make sure you sign up very quickly, as this time I will not take more than 10 people. So yes, please make sure. You will also see the private session that is happening now very soon. You will see what we are doing there, how we are doing there, what are the methods, how we connect, how it will help you. And then of course you can make your decision as well. Anyways, I am so happy that you were here today. I am very, very proud of you, that you have gone through so much on this journey, and you are still here to believe in love, to believe in light, and to be the love and to be the light. You are just so wonderful, and thank you for being you. Lots of love and light. See you soon. 'Cause I have reached a point where nothing matters, and I'm signing off this open letter. I go down in blue, and that will be on you. Now what is going on? The answers are right here reflected. Still you get it